The Lakers just pulled off a crazy one. The Lakers escaped Memphis with a gritty 117-112 win, and the stats show just how well this team is starting to gel. There was no fluke, from shot selection to defensive effort to rebounding hustle. Every part of the game was defined by real execution and real numbers. They're now 4-2 on the season, undefeated on the road at 3-0, and everything about this one looked like a team ready to build momentum. They shot over 51% from the field, specifically 39 makes on 76 attempts. And that kind of efficiency doesn't happen without structure. It wasn't just one guy carrying the weight. Luca did his thing, obviously, but the role players stepped up. The bench held the line, and the fourth quarter belonged to players who understood their jobs. Luca put up 44 points on 27 shots, adding 11 assists and 6 boards. But what matters more is that he generated 56 points directly through his scoring and passing. That's nearly half of the Lakers' total output. He knocked down 6 threes out of 15, hit 10 free throws on 13 tries, and despite having the ball constantly, turned it over just 5 times. That's the kind of volume that usually comes with mistakes. But he limited those while running the offense nearly every trip down the floor. His points per shot rate landed around 1.63. Elite efficiency at high usage. That's control, not chaos. But he wasn't the only one producing. The team finished with 24 assists, meaning over 61% of made field goals came off a pass. Ball movement was sharp, especially in the half court. Even when Memphis applied pressure, the Lakers kept their spacing and stuck to the script. Austin Reeves dished out 4 assists of his own to go with 21 points. He didn't shoot well from deep, just 2 of 8, and went 5 for 14 from the field overall. But he attacked the basket and lived at the free throw line, 9 for 9 from the stripe. And all of those came in key moments, particularly late in the fourth quarter. He was involved in 10 of the Lakers' final 15 points, either scoring or assisting, and ended the game with a plus 15, second best on the team. Marcus Smart didn't need a ton of touches to make his mark. He scored 12 points on 8 shots, shooting over 62%, and also posted 4 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and 3 rebounds. It was easily his best two-way performance so far in a Laker jersey. His on-court presence came with a plus 12, the best among starters, and he was responsible for 4 deflections as well. He helped set the tone defensively in the third quarter when the Lakers clawed back from a double-digit deficit. The Lakers finished with 8 steals and 3 blocks, which doesn't scream lockdown defense. But when you pair that with holding Memphis to under 43% from the field, it becomes clear the pressure was consistent. Smart and Vanderbilt handled switching assignments well, especially against Morant, and the rotations improved as the game wore on. Rebounding turned out to be a quiet difference maker. The Lakers won the rebounding battle 40-35, but they did it without help from DeAndre Ayton, who finished with 0 boards in 17 minutes. That's not a typo. He scored 9 points on 4 of 6 shooting, but didn't grab a single rebound. He was pulled from the game at halftime due to what appeared to be a back issue and didn't return. His plus-minus, -17, the lowest on the team. Luckily, Jackson Hayes stepped in and did the dirty work. He played 23 minutes and only scored 2 points, but grabbed 7 boards, handed out an assist, and picked up a steal. He was the primary big in the second half and helped clean up second chances. His plus 15 was tied for the team high, showing his screens, rim runs, and rebounds made a real impact. Jake LaRavia led the bench with 13 points on 5 of 8 shooting. He added 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and a steal in 23 minutes. His off-ball movement opened up spacing, and he connected well with Hayes and Reeves on second unit actions. His ability to generate offense without needing to dominate the ball kept the tempo high when the starters sat. Jared Vanderbilt chipped in with only 2 points, but made his presence felt on defense. He logged 4 assists and a rebound in 14 minutes, finishing with a plus 9. He switched off and onto Memphis' primary creators and chased down loose balls that won possessions late. Dalton Connect had some flashes too. He played 15 minutes, scored 5 points, had 2 assists, and a rebound. He hit 2 of 5 shots and 1 of 3 from deep. His offensive energy helped stretch the floor, but his defensive positioning led to a -10 rating. He still gave enough spark to keep the second unit alive. The fourth quarter told the story of the game. Memphis led entering the final frame, up 91-89, but the Lakers opened the quarter with 7 straight points. It started with back-to-back buckets from role players and ended with Luca stepping into a 3 to put the game out of reach. The team outscored Memphis 28-21 in that quarter, and Luca was involved in 16 of those 28 points. Not just a closer, a finisher. True shooting percentage for the team ended at 59.7, which is elite. The assist-to-turnover ratio came in at 1.85, 24 assists to 13 turnovers, and that balance kept the offense moving without giving Memphis extra chances. They scored 46 points in the paint, showing they weren't just relying on the perimeter. There was real inside-out balance. Fast break points were estimated around 14, slightly below average for their pace. But that was fine because their half-court sets were efficient. The Lakers kept the ball moving, and when they needed points, they didn't panic. Reeves attacked closeouts. Smart cut backdoor. Hayes rolled off screens. LaRavia worked off movement to open up mid-range floaters. Everyone did something, and the stats show it. Smart's 3 blocks and 2 steals came at perfect moments. His rotations were on time, and his perimeter contests made Memphis hesitate on late shot clock situations. He wasn't flashy, just efficient. He took only 8 shots, hit 5, and made his 1 free throw. That's a 12-point night on very little usage. Vanderbilt didn't show up in the scoring column much, but his +9 came from his help, defense, and his ability to keep ball handlers in front. He was part of the late rotations that helped lock up the Memphis guards in the fourth. Connect's -10 came from defensive lapses, but his offensive instincts were there. He found LaRavia for a backdoor layup in the second and helped close a scoring gap with a wing 3. He'll need to grow on the defensive end, but his willingness to move the ball and take smart shots gives him value off the bench. Ayton's 0 rebounds will be the big stat people talk about, but his first half still included 5 quick points and a couple of nice post touches. His injury is something the Lakers will need to monitor closely. His absence opened the door for Hayes, who didn't stuff the stat sheet but still altered shots and secured key rebounds. The Lakers held Memphis to under 43% shooting and forced 13 turnovers. They weren't blitzing passing lanes, but they stayed disciplined and let Smart, Vanderbilt, and Hayes pressure the right areas of the court. When the rotations came late in the second, Memphis made a run, but the Lakers adjusted at halftime and clamped down. Hayes' +15 came from exactly what the box score won't show. He ran the floor, boxed out, kept possessions alive, and changed the tone defensively in the third quarter. He didn't score much, but he didn't need to. His 7 boards led the team, and all of them came at critical points. LaRavia's 5 assists off the bench matched Smart's starter total, and he did it by playing within the flow. He didn't force anything, took shots when they came to him, and made plays when defenders rotated late. Reeves and Luca were the closest. Reeves went to the line and hit every free throw. Luca hit the dagger 3 with just over 6 minutes left, and from there, it was about clock management. The Lakers didn't let Memphis back into it. They kept control and dictated tempo. This game had balance, from high-volume scoring to timely defense to bench production that held leads and closed gaps. The Lakers finished with an offensive rating over 120 for the 3rd time in 6 games. That's not accident. The team's efficiency rankings for this game would start with Luca, who led all players with 44 points and 11 assists. His impact was clear every time the offense slowed. He got them right back on track. Reeves was second, not for his shooting, but for his free throws, late game execution, and overall presence. Smart came next for his two-way control and efficiency. LaRavia and Hayes rounded out the top 5, both finishing with big plus-minus ratings and doing the little things that don't always pop in highlight packages. No part of this win was flashy. It was a combination of shot making, ball control, rebounding hustle, and defensive consistency. The Lakers didn't dominate, but they played smarter. They stayed calm when Memphis made a huge second quarter run, and they didn't panic when their offense stalled. They executed late, made free throws, kept the ball moving, and played physical without fouling. The Lakers proved again that they can win on the road without needing perfect shooting. They leaned on their stars when they had to, trusted their role players when they needed to, and found just enough team defense to get the job done. No drama, no panic, just stats, structure, and results. But when we talk about the Lakers, we got to talk about Luca and how good he's been this season. Luca's played in just 3 games so far this season, but if you looked only at his numbers, you'd think he's been bulldozing the league every single night. First off, 46 points per game. Not even a misprint. 46. That's more than 99% of players. When a guy's averaging nearly half 100 in today's NBA, yeah, that turns heads, even if it's only been a few games. But it's not just the volume, it's the efficiency that makes this ridiculous. His effective field goal percentage is 69%. That's not normal for a player who shoots as much as he does. He's taking 25 field goal attempts per game and making them count. He's putting up 1.4 points per field goal attempt. That's a ridiculous return, especially when he's draining 3.5 3-pointers a game and knocking down 12 2-pointers. It's balanced, it's relentless, and it's working. Then there's his true shooting percentage, 75.4%. That takes into account everything, threes, twos, and free throws, and still spits out a number that would make a center who only dunks proud. Luca's getting to the line 14.5 times a game. That's not just drawing contact, that's basically a moving parade to the free throw line. And even with all those attempts, he's still sitting at 1.5 points per scoring attempt. That's surgical. His offensive rating is 125.7. That means every 100 possessions with Luca on the floor, the team is pumping out over 125 points. That's monstrous. On the other end, his defensive rating is 116.8. Now sure, that's not elite defense, but when you stack that up with his net rating, a plus 8.9, it tells you his presence swings games in a big way, and the plus-minus story backs that up. In the games he's played, the team's been better with him than without by 6 points per 100 possessions. That on-off impact puts him ahead of 97% of players. It's not just about scoring, it's about what the team becomes when he's out there. And then there's the ball handling, ranked better than 97% of players in that category, which isn't exactly a shock when you see what he's doing as a passer. He's dishing out 8.5 assists per game and only turning it over 3 times. That's a fantastic ratio, especially considering how much he's involved. His assist rate is 42.5%, so almost half of the team's field goals, while he's out there, are being set up by him. That's wild. He's not just getting flashy assists either. He's assisting on 20 points per game. That's 20 points coming directly off his passes. He's not just scoring 46, he's also creating a full 20 for others. And when you stack that up with a turnover percentage under 9%, specifically 8.96%, it's clear he's not wasting possessions. For someone touching the ball nearly every trip down, he's taking care of it like it's made of glass. Now let's talk about the rebounding, because apparently Luca decided that grabbing boards was just as important as lighting up the scoreboard. He's averaging 11.5 rebounds a game. That's not a typo. He's clearing the glass like a full-time big man. 11 of those are coming on the defensive end. That's nearly all of them. His defensive rebound percentage is 28.95%. That means nearly 1 in 3 missed shots on the opponent's end ends up in Luca's hands when he's on the floor. Offensive rebounding, that's not really his gig, just 0.5 per game. But even then, his offensive rebound percentage ranks higher than 95% of players. That's crazy, considering how little time he spends near the rim on offense. Now, usage rate, buckle up. He's at 40.4%. That means out of every 10 plays the team runs while he's on the court, 4 of them end with him doing something odd: shooting, drawing a foul, dishing an assist, or turning it over. He's touching nearly everything, and somehow the engine keeps running smooth. His defense has been solid too. He's got 1 steal per game, half a block, and again, those 11 defensive boards. His team defensive efficiency sits at 116.8, which won't win awards, but when you factor in how much he's carrying, offensively, it's clear he's not slacking. He's ranked higher than 81% of players in mixed team defense, which takes into account individual stops and team level impact. He's doing all this with only 3 games under his belt this season. The scary part? He's putting up these absurd numbers while still ramping up after injury. It's not a fluke. It's consistent, data-backed dominance. That mixed teamwork rating tells the story too. 69%. That's the percentile, not the grade. And it shows that when he's on the floor, good things keep happening. The Lakers have won half of the games he's played in, and in terms of raw numbers, that plus 6-point on-off rating says the team's clearly better when he's suiting up. And the turnover stuff matters more when you consider how much he's asked to do. With 30.5 scoring attempts per game, between shots and drawn fouls, plus all the assists, only turning it over 3 times? That's efficient, high-volume production, which is one of the rarest combinations in the league. There's no filler in his game right now. It's high-octane everything. Scoring, facilitating, rebounding, managing the ball, staying active on defense, and the percentages prove it's not just high volume, but high quality too. He's in the top tier across the board, from usage rate to assist percentage to rebounding to on-off impact. Luca's putting together the kind of stat lines that do not happen by accident. Even in just 3 games, the numbers are loud, they're shouting. And if he keeps this up once he's back full-time, the Lakers are going to have a very real problem on their hands. The good kind. But the thing is, we can do the exact same for Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves has stepped into the spotlight, while LeBron and Luca have been out. And the numbers show he hasn't just filled the gap, he's torn the roof off it. He's putting up 34.2 points per game. That's not just a bump in scoring. That's more than 99% of players in the league. The guy's gone full flamethrower, and he's doing it with efficiency too. His effective field goal percentage is 60.1%. He's taking nearly 20 shots per game, exactly 19.8, and he's hitting 7.4 two-pointers and knocking down 3 threes per contest. He's not just jacking shots, he's converting them at a high clip. That works out to 1.2 points per field goal attempt, which stacks up better than 69% of players. But the real kicker is his true shooting percentage, 67.3%. That blends together twos, threes, and free throws, and still spits out a number that's cleaner than a freshly waxed hardwood floor. He's getting to the line 11.6 times per game and still managing to put up 1.3 points per scoring attempt. That's serious scoring without wasted trips. Offensively, he's been on fire. His offensive rating is 123.6, which means the team is scoring over 123 points per 100 possessions when he's out there. Combine that with his defensive rating of 116.6, and you land at a net rating of +7. That's a full touchdown swing every 100 possessions with him on the court. And when you zoom in on the plus-minus impact, it gets even louder. His on-off split is +9.2. That's the team's point difference when he's on the floor versus off it, and it ranks better than 99% of the league. It's not just that he's productive. The entire vibe of the team changes when he checks in. They function better, they score more, they win more possessions. And then there's the ball handling. He's sitting in the 99th percentile in that category. Not a surprise when you look at how he's managing the offense. He's averaging 10 assists per game. That's not just solid, that's quarterback level orchestration. He's doing it while turning it over only 3.8 times a game, and with how often he has the ball, that's more than acceptable. His assist percentage is 40.32. So when he's on the court, over 40% of the team's buckets are coming straight off his passes. He's basically acting as the offensive GPS. And those passes are not just setting up any points, they're generating 22.8 points per game for teammates. Stack that with the 34.2 he's scoring himself, and that's 57 total points per game directly tied to him. And when you zoom in on turnover percentage, it's sitting at 13.01%. That's the rate at which he's giving the ball away per 100 actions that end in a play, whether it's a shot, a drawn foul, or a turnover. For someone initiating the offense that much, that's a totally workable number. He's averaging 25.4 scoring attempts per game and still keeping his turnovers under 4. Then there's the usage rate, 32.2%. That means almost a third of the Lakers' possessions are ending with Reeves doing something. That's shot attempts, trips to the line, assists, or giveaways. He's involved in everything, not just playing, leading the show. He's been active on defense too. 1.8 steals per game, 0 blocks, but a solid 5.2 defensive rebounds per game. That gives him a pretty healthy presence on that end, especially when his team defensive efficiency is still at 116.6. It's not lockdown, but it's better than most. And when you fold that into his mixed team defense rating, which ranks higher than 78% of players, it shows he's been more than just a scorer. His defensive rebounding alone puts him in the 96th percentile. He's been helping clean up the glass, which matters a lot when the team's missing bigger bodies or veteran help. And it's not like he's padding stats. These boards are coming in the flow of the game, supporting fast breaks and stopping second chance looks. And his overall possession involvement backs all of it up. He's logging 78.8 possessions per game. And in that span, he's taking 19.8 shots, drawing over 11 free throws, handing out 10 assists, and only turning it over 3.8 times. That's massive offensive responsibility. And he's carrying it without coughing it up all over the place. He's also scoring in ways that keep the pressure on defenses. He's hitting threes, getting inside for twos, and drawing contact constantly. He's doing all of that while keeping his effective field goal percentage over 60%. That's not just efficient. That's a guard playing with the forward's precision. And when the team needed someone to step up, he didn't just check the box, he ripped it off the wall. Even though he's been flying under the radar before, there's nothing subtle about what he's doing now. He's producing more than nearly all his peers. 99% of players are behind him in points. And in on-off impact, again, 99% of players are getting outperformed. He's also controlling pace. That's one of those things that doesn't pop in the box score, but the assist numbers and scoring totals paint the picture. He's not just making plays, he's dictating how the game flows when he's out there. And all of this is happening while key guys have been out. He didn't just absorb the extra touches. He turned them into one of the most efficient, high-usage stretches anyone has put together so far. He's mixing high assist rates with big-time scoring and not dragging the offense down with turnovers or brick. That's a rare balance to strike, especially for someone who wasn't even a primary option coming into the season. Even though his team hasn't won every game during this stretch, his presence has made a noticeable impact. When he's out there, they're just better, more fluid, more productive, more connected. That plus 9.2 on-off split screams it. The net rating of plus 7 backs it up. And when a guy's scoring over 34, assisting nearly 23 more, and still helping on the glass and defense, there's not much else to ask for. He's not doing it by luck either. The efficiency is baked into every part of his game. He's not chucking. He's not careless. He's putting up volume while still ranking in the upper percentiles for shooting efficiency, ball security, and offensive value. That combination of usage, efficiency, and creation makes this run special. It's not flashy just for the sake of highlights. It's functional, and it's winning basketball. His numbers put him near the top in multiple key categories: scoring, assists, on-off impact, true shooting, and ball handling. And considering he's taken on this role without the usual superstars beside him, that makes it even more impressive. The numbers weren't padded with Luca or LeBron drawing doubles. This has been him running the show, holding the reins, and proving that when the team needs a guy to carry the load, he's more than capable. Austin Reeves is playing like a seasoned lead guard who's been doing this for years. The production is legit, the impact is measurable, and the efficiency is flat out undeniable. Every time he steps on the floor, he's stuffing the stat sheet and keeping the Lakers competitive, even in the face of missing stars. And if these numbers hold anywhere close to this pace, they've got another serious option who can do more than just play a role. But then I want to talk about Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart is not out there lighting up the scoreboard, and that's not really the point. He's averaging just 7.7 points per game right now, which only puts him ahead of about 48% of players. It's not eye-catching, it's not box office, and it's definitely not what people think of when they hear prime Marcus Smart. But the Lakers need him to play like that version of himself, the one who does everything loud, even if his stat lines stay quiet. Right now, the scoring is minimal. He's hitting 2 two-pointers and just 0.3 threes per game. That's not going to space the floor, and it's not stretching defenses. He's taking only 5.3 shots per game total, and the points per field goal attempt sit at 0.9. That's not going to cut it. That puts him around average for effective field goal percentage, clocking in at 46.9%. It's functional, but just barely. True shooting percentage is a little more forgiving at 54.8%, which includes the free throws, and he's getting to the line 3.3 times a game. That helps, and it bumps his points per scoring attempt up to 1.1, but it still screams low usage. He's only ahead of 39% of players in terms of points per game. The Lakers don't need him to become a volume scorer, but they definitely need more than this. Because here's the thing, when Marcus Smart is playing like the version of himself that won Defensive Player of the Year and helped push the Celtics deep into the postseason, he's not just filling in gaps. He's setting a tone. He's flipping momentum. Right now, he's showing flashes, but those flashes need to be a full-on spotlight. The offensive rating is sitting at 118.5, and that's actually pretty solid. That means the team is producing when he's on the court. It's even more interesting when you look at his defensive rating, just 97.5. That's elite defense. Combine the two, and you get a net rating of plus 21. That's not a typo. The team has a plus 21 swing when he's on the floor, so the impact is real. It's just not coming from scoring. He's played in games where the team had a positive plus-minus every single time. 100% of his games so far have landed on the plus side of the ledger, and the on-off rating shows that when he's playing, the Lakers are 17 points better than when he's off. That's massive. That's the kind of swing usually reserved for stars, but it's coming from a guy who's averaging less than 8 points and only 2 assists a night. Now that assist number, that's where the alarm bells start ringing. 2 assists per game, with 2 turnovers, puts him dead even in that category. His assist to turnover ratio is 1-to-1, and his assist percentage, the portion of teammate field goals he's directly responsible for, is just 11.76%. That puts him ahead of only a little more than half the league. For a guard, that's just not high enough. That's not enough playmaking, and certainly not enough creation in lineups that don't have their primary stars on the floor. He's assisting on 5 points per game. That's a stat that needs to rise. For context, his turnover percentage is sitting at 22.22%, so he's turning it over once every 5 plays that end with him doing something. That's not manageable, and for someone who isn't creating much offense otherwise, it's a problem. The ball handling rating is sitting around the 50th percentile, basically average, which is fine if he's being asked to play a supporting role behind primary ball handlers, but when Luca and LeBron aren't on the floor, or when the offense needs structure, he has to be able to take control without bleeding possessions. Prime Marcus Smart had a tighter handle and a better balance between aggression and control. This version is still trying to find that gear. On the defense side though, that's where he's still doing damage. 1 steal per game, no blocks. Less than 1 defensive rebound, sitting at 0.7, which is low, but not surprising given his role. But that defensive rating of 97.5 isn't just good, it's elite territory. That means the Lakers give up fewer than 98 points per 100 possessions when he's on the floor. That's lockdown energy, and that's what the team desperately needs to keep seeing. His mixed team defense rating is solid too, higher than 59% of players. So he's not just making individual stops, he's fitting into the scheme and helping keep opponent offenses disjointed. But here's where it circles back. Defense has never been Smart's only job. It's always been the way he initiates chaos so that other parts of the team can flourish. That version of Marcus Smart is the one this Lakers squad needs. The one who defends, dives on the floor, rips the ball from a big man, and then sprints the other way to hit a trailing shooter or draw a foul. His usage rate is sitting at 15.5%. That's low, and it makes sense with how few shots he's taking. But for someone whose impact numbers are as high as his, that plus 21 net rating, the 17-point on-off difference, and the perfect positive plus-minus games, there's room to grow. If he's affecting winning that much without touching the ball much, imagine what happens when he starts doing a little more. Right now, he's taking part in 54 possessions per game, and in those, he's launching just over 5 shots, getting to the line 3 times, dishing out 2 assists, and turning it over twice. That's not a lot of volume, and it's not giving the offense enough spice when the primary creators are off the court. But here's the twist. Those possessions are being won, because even though the stats look flat, the team is humming when he's out there. That's what makes the situation so urgent. The Lakers don't need Smart to put up 20 points a night. They don't need him to hand out double-digit dimes, but they absolutely need him to be aggressive. The version of him that gets into the paint, makes the extra pass, rotates on defense with his hair on fire, and yells after a stop. That guy's contagious. That guy wins games. That guy's why the team goes up 21 points per 100 possessions when he's playing. The challenge is that his current numbers look like a background character. Prime Marcus Smart was anything but that. He wasn't efficient every night. He wasn't the top scorer, but he was always present, always impactful, and always doing just enough to spark something bigger. The Lakers need that energy. They need that guy who swings momentum in their favor with a deflection, a drawn charge, or a perfectly timed skip pass to the corner. They need the vocal leader version, the irritant defender version, the guy who made star players uncomfortable and fans uncomfortable for entirely different reasons. Because that guy didn't wait for the game to come to him. He grabbed it by the collar and made it bend. Right now, Marcus Smart's numbers are whispering, but his impact is still shouting. And that's the weird balance. If the box score ever catches up to the impact stats, even a little, the Lakers are going to be in a way better spot. Because no team in the league would complain about a guy with a plus 21 net rating and a 17-point swing when he's on the court. But when that guy starts shooting it a bit more, hitting a couple extra threes, setting up more teammates, and limiting the turnovers, now you're looking at something dangerous. There's no question that he's capable. Guy's not washed. He's still showing up in the metrics that matter. Defense, on-off value, team efficiency. But if he can channel that old fire, that version of himself that wouldn't stop barking at teammates, refs, and anyone else nearby, he's going to give the Lakers a serious edge, even without blowing up the stat sheet. They don't need a new player. They need the old Marcus Smart. And the sooner he finds that version again, the sooner this team locks in. If you guys enjoyed this, I'll be posting every day. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.